Guys, welcome back to the channel. We are headed out to the Chesapeake Bay, and we're going to start out in shallow water, throwing some artificial and maybe a little bit of soft crab. And we're going to stay there for the first couple hours of daylight, and then hopefully head out to the target ship. Going to be looking for speckled trout, bluefish, rockfish, maybe a red drum if we're lucky. It's about 4 o'clock right now, and I am already one monster deep and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So I just pulled up to Connor's and no sign of life. I'm thinking Connor's still dead asleep, so I better get in there and wake him up, and I'll see you guys out on the water. Alright guys, I made it out onto the water, and I got Connor up. He's awake now. And we've had enough caffeine to probably kill a water buffalo, so we're ready to catch some fish. Alright, we pulled up to our first spot, and I'm going to start out throwing this little voodoo shrimp, and Connor's going to be throwing a paddle tail, and we'll see. If one starts working better than the other, then we'll both switch to that. There's hardly any wind at all. I don't know. I guess there's something random out in the middle there. Well, we got the first hookup of the morning, and it ain't a good one. Okay, not a very promising start. Nope, no fish yet, and we both just broke off. And Connor's trolling motor is saying she's low on battery already, and we're only not about an hour into the trip, not even. So see how it goes. We might end up anchoring up somewhere and throwing out some soft crab. Trout. Just want to spot lock it, keep casting that way. All right, first fish of the morning. Not that big of a trout, but I actually think he is a keeper. I usually don't keep anything under 16. I think the minimum in Maryland is 14. Oh, Connor's hooked up. Yeah, we'll keep him. You got a trout too? Rock? Yeah. Connor's got a little rockfish. Oh my goodness, dude, he destroyed my swim bait. Look. Yeah, swim bait. Alright guys. First fish of the morning. Connor's got his over there. Alright guys, well, unfortunately, after those first couple fish there, first thing in the morning, we caught the one rockfish and one trout, and after the sun got up, about an hour and a half after sunrise, we just did not see many signs of life. So we tried for a few more hours, and we did go out to the target ship and tried open water a little, and then a little more shallow water, but nothing was willing to bite. So short video, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to clean the speckled trout, and then we're gonna go ahead and make some ceviche out of it. So I'm gonna go get the fish out of the cooler and we'll go get it cleaned. Alright, so the first thing I like to do with any fish is spray it down and get the slime off of it, and it just makes it a little bit easier to handle while you're cleaning it. So we will rinse him down, get some slime off, and that'll make him a little easier to handle. Alright, I'm going to try and be fairly quick with this because I don't know if you'll hear it in the background or not. A little bit of thunder going, and it just did stop raining. I was hoping it'd stop raining long enough to get this done, but first thing I was doing there was taking the back of my knife and just cleaning some of the scales away. That way you don't have to cut through the scales with your knife blade, and it'll just keep your knife from dulling. Then you kind of find the meat at where the meat connects to the head, and that's where you want to make your first cut. It's just a straight cut down, and then all I'm doing is just following the spine and opening up the fish, and then we're just working the meat away from the bone. You should feel your knife should be sliding against the bone there, and you know, you're not going to get everything. Nobody's perfect filleting a fish, but I know I'm definitely not. But I just try and take my time and do the best that I can. So kind of have to go up and over that little bit of spine they got there, and I try and cut right over top of the rib cage. You don't have to cut through the bone. And this is not a real big trout, so you're not going to get huge fillets out of it. And that's why we're making ceviche too. Ceviche is a dish that kind of goes a long way when you don't have a lot of meat. So same thing on the other side. Get the scales away. Follow right down the spine there. Try not to get your knife in behind the spine, just to avoid any bones. And once I got that first cut, then I'm just opening them up and working the meat right off the bone. Like I said, you'll feel the bone on the back side of your knife, and you should kind of hear it too. Your knife gliding right across the bone there. That lets you know you're not missing too much meat. Went up over the it's like their lateral line there, that bone. You have to pop your knife up over it and down on the other side. work it around the rib cage, which trout are pretty easy. They don't have much of a rib cage anyways. Get it away from that belly. And there he is. You see there's not really much meat left on there. And then you're just going to take your knife and we're just going to separate the meat from the skin. This is that first little bit there. You're just getting your knife right between the meat and the skin and just work it off of there. There you go. Pretty little trout fillet there. Like I said, it's not a bunch of meat on this trout. He's only about a 16.5-inch fish, which is usually about the cutoff point at which I'll keep them. I don't keep them anything less than 16, but the I believe the minimum size for Maryland is 14 inches. There we go. Got nice pretty, there's a little bit of silver skin left there. I'll trim that off before we make the ceviche. But pretty easy. Nothing too hard. So next spot I'll see you guys is in the kitchen to get the ceviche started. Alright, so the next step is just going to be to dice up the fish, and I usually cut it up into chunks about the size of my pinky fingernail. And then we're going to soak it in lime juice for about an hour. And there's Chief. And then my wife is going to dice up some vegetables. Alright, and besides the fish and the lime juice that we're going to use, there's going to be, well, those are the limes. Going to be cilantro, onion, cucumber, and tomato. And you don't want to soak that in the lime juice. Just keep that separate until the fish is done soaking, and you'll add that in at the end. Okay, this is why Elise is doing the chopping instead of me, and it's because she has knife skills that would rival Gordon Ramsay. So once she gets the vegetables all chopped up, and the fish will soak for about an hour to an hour and a half, and after that we'll just mix it all up together and we'll scoop it out with tortilla chips and kind of eat it like a salsa.